Hey folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Wastelander. This is a game that you can find on Steam's Early Access program for about $10 or so. I stress Early Access. Everything that you're about to see is subject to change. In fact, I hope that the developer works on the settings menu a little bit. There's very few resolution options, no keybinds. WASD does not move the camera, and I kept hitting WASD to move the camera and ended up doing other things that I didn't want to do. Anyway, so there's endless mode, standard, and daily challenge, so you can pick what you like. You can even customize your playthrough a little bit. Whenever you're choosing your difficulty, you'll be able to sort of fine-tune your experience a bit. You can up the turn limit. By default, it's 50 on normal, so you have 50 turns to do what you need to do, but you can increase that. You can also adjust the map size, the starting storm level, number of ruins that you have to connect, number of alien shields, that kind of thing. Now, what does that all mean? Well, this is a turn-based strategy game. It's more of a puzzle game where you're trying to connect all of the ruins on the map before the time limit expires. You're going to be placing down various structures in order to grow your network, and they all have to be connected in order for them to work. So again, you're kind of up against the clock. It's very much a resource management, how efficient are you kind of game, because again, you've got limited number of turns, so you kind of have to build an economy as you're looking around the map trying to get things done. You do have like one-off consumables. They're called items, and they reveal the map. They allow you to do things that you normally wouldn't be able to do. Most importantly, like scan the environment to see what you're up against, because you cannot pass through mountains, but you can use dynamite consumables to do that. You can also build tunnel tiles, which are super expensive, in order to grow your network through a mountain. So yeah, and every time you connect to a random supply drop on the map, you typically get to choose one of three special things. You can choose like more consumables, like a seed bomb that turns sand into grass and also clears out storm, which I'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, you can unlock new building types and then use those building types. And you're going to be generating like this ore, like this metal ore, and you're going to be generating energy every turn. And there are structures that you can build in order to increase their income rates, because certain buildings actually reduce those income rates. You can also build rails super cheap, which allow you to grow your network, but they really don't provide any real benefit other than doing so. But yeah, I mean, they're a good way to get around the map without having to connect everything with wind turbines, which again get expensive because you're using your ore to do that. So this storm that I was talking about, the way that works is like every 5 turns or so, every tile that is marked in red it will just basically destroy anything on it. So, and the storm will escalate as the game goes on. So for the first, like, storm, which again occurs every 5 turns, only a couple of tiles get destroyed. And there's a good chance that, it probably won't touch any of your structures because, you haven't built a whole lot yet. But as the game goes on, like, you'll see 10, 15 tiles about to be wiped out, and maybe 6 of them contain your buildings, so you have a couple of choices to make. Do you just let them get destroyed and then rebuild them after the fact, or do you spend your precious consumables? Because there's a consumable that it basically builds these protective walls around the tile in order to prevent it from being destroyed. Now, there are alien shield structures around the environment that sort of shield a large radius around them, so any important buildings I found, I usually put around those alien shields, whatever, and they're marked by the green circles that you're seeing on the map right now. So there's a lot of strategic thinking here. There's an efficiency way of thinking, like, I'm gonna be earning 6 ore this turn or 6 metal this turn, and I'm gonna go over my cap if I don't build something. So maybe I should build something even if it's not connected. I should build something so as not to waste it. So this is very much a puzzle-heavy, efficiency, resource management-heavy kind of game. At first, I thought it was going to be some kind of like, it's a survival game, like you're stranded on an alien planet and you have to find food to survive. No, that's not what this game was at all. When I was first looking at it, this was much more of a one of those timed puzzle games that forces you to be efficient and think about what you're doing, and also generate an economy to boot. And I will say, I really enjoyed my experience with this so far, and I think what the shining star of this game is the fact that you can customize the difficulty any way you like. Again, you can up the turn limit because you only get 50 turns in normal, but you can up that if you want to. Um, and there's also an endless mode, which I have not tried, and that's just sort of, it's different. It's like I have to find materials to rebuild my crashed ship or something or other. I have not tried that, but that is a different mode that you can play. There's also an editor, but I didn't see a Steam Workshop, so I didn't mess around with that editor too much. I just kind of, played the standard mode for right now, and, for first impressions, I enjoyed I enjoyed my time with this. Again, my complaint really was the WASD. Like I was wanting to move the camera around that way. Instead, I have to click and hold both mouse buttons to move the camera, and the game doesn't really tell you that. So I think more attention needs to be paid to quality of life things like that. Just because, well, some of us have tendonitis and carpal tunnel and whatever else. And holding both mouse buttons in to move the camera constantly is a pain in the butt. WASD would have worked great, and it's not a thing. So, and plus there's only like 5 resolution options. There wasn't a 2560 by 1440, which is what I normally do. Instead, there was just 1920 by 1080, and then the 3000 or the 4K resolution, whatever that is. So yeah, I mean, for an early access game, this was fun. I would definitely come back to this title because I want to see what I can unlock. Again, as you find supply pods and as you connect the ruins, which is what you're supposed to do to win, you're going to be unlocking new things for that run type. And that typically, gives you some kind of bonus. So, you're always going to be making decisions on what you think the best move is at that time, and then you realize I should have done this instead. You know what I mean? And then you start discovering, oh, these things double your output. Maybe I shouldn't have put a rail there. Maybe I should have put an actual building there. So there's a learning curve associated with this as well. But it's still a lot of fun. I recommend it. And it's a pretty fun game. So that was Wastelander. Looking forward to seeing whatever else the developer adds to this. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.